this is Kylie from Hello Crafter, and today I'm sharing this card with you, which is a technique called triple layer stamping, or sometimes called triple time stamping. So if you want to Google it, you can see loads of ideas. It's not a new technique by any means, but it's one I haven't tried for quite a while, probably a few years. So I wanted to revisit this technique. So this is one of the cards in September's monthly card class. So in your kit, if you've received one, you'll have all the bits and pieces which I'll talk through in a moment. So let's get started. So these are the card layers that we're going to need. We've got our card base, which is our standard A5 sheet of card, scored and folded in half. And then we've got these 3 white layers. The largest is 10 centimetres, I'll write this on here, 10 centimetres by 14.3 centimetres. And then the middle white layer is 7.5 by 11.8, and the smallest layer is 5 by 9.3 centimetres. And then in between those layers we've got these cardstock layers. So the larger one is 8 centimetres by 12.3, and that's for that one. And then the small one at 5.5 by 9.8 for that one to layer onto. So we keep them separate for now, so we can put the coloured cardstock to one side, and we just need the white layers to stamp on. So we just arrange our white layers exactly where we would want them to go, so right in the centre. You can do them off centre like this. You can do any combination. You can have them asymmetrical, so you can have them more into one corner, or skew width, it doesn't matter. But we just need to secure these down, just so they don't move around when we're stamping. And how I do that is I just take a tiny little bit of my Tombow glue, and I just want to put a really small amount on the back, and it's just enough to make it tacky enough to stick, just temporarily, because we're going to pull them apart, so we don't want to rip anything later on when we're moving them apart. So just a little tiny bit just to make it tacky, and it will just grip it, hold it in place while we're stamping, but still allow us to separate them without ripping the paper afterwards. So that's assembled how I want it. So then we just need to take some stamps, and pretty much any stamps work with this technique. I'm just going to keep this fairly monochrome, well, 2 colours, so I'm gonna stamp in black, and I'm going to use this lovely flower from the Hand Pen Petals stamp set, which is like an outline stamp. So I think the black and the pink will make a really nice contrast. So it's fairly large stamp, which is great. Medium to large stamps work best for this, I find, because we really want to get our images overlapping these layers. So there's a couple of tricks that we need to remember when we're doing this. So we just get lots of ink on this stamp, and I'll show you. When you stamp down, just make sure you take your time and make sure there's plenty of pressure, even pressure all over the stamp, especially on those joins where the stamp's coming off the pieces. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now you will find that there'll be some gaps around the edges of where the cards, where the stamp's coming off the card layer, but that's okay because we'll hide most of those with the matte layers. And so just do your best to try and get as much of that stamped image stamped as you can. So I'm just gonna, well, before I do any more, I might add a little sentiment. I probably would start with the sentiment actually, because then I can do my images around the sentiment. I can just make sure that I've got room for it. That would be sensible. So let's just just grab this little thanks stamp from this set, and I'll put that right in the middle. Right, now I can carry on. Just again, just make sure that all of the image is stamping, even the bits that are overlapping. I'm just going to keep going and fill all the gaps. See, I lost just a little bit here where I didn't press, so let's just see if I can get that. Just about. Pressing all parts of the stamp, especially if it's a big one like that one. And then I might just do some smaller areas around the edge, just to fill in those white areas. Now I can colour this in with some watercolour pencils or my blends. Before I take it apart, I want to add colour at that stage, but actually I'm going to keep this black and white. So pull your pieces apart, hopefully it's not stuck down too much, and then we just need to glue our panels on. So get the biggest one on first. Just try and remember which way round they go. Okay, that's that one down, and then take your middle ones and assemble those. Get a nice even border, and the smallest ones. Okay, now we can start to put these together. So I'll just get this lined up. You can use the image just to check the position. And then, as you can see, it looks like a continuous image with some dimension. So it's a really simple technique, and this is another one I've done with snowflakes. I used some different colours on this one, but it's exactly the same. So you could do a Christmassy one and a non-Christmassy one, or for whatever occasion that you've got coming up. Just have a little play with whatever stamps that you have to hand and whatever ink colours you want to use. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.